Hey guys, it's Matty17 here. Just thought I'd do a video of this Lemair WD800. It's a washer dryer. I don't know how to date this one. Early 80s, late 70s maybe. Found in a very old home in North Perth. In very good condition. It was sold to us that it didn't wash, it only dried. So after a bit of investigation, it was actually loaded with fluff, which is why it wasn't washing, because it wasn't draining the water, because the pump was just overladen with fluff. So after a few flushes out, it went absolutely fine. So enjoy. We're starting this on a number 2, which is a White's Heavy Soil at 95. I did forget that this number 2 cycle does actually have a pre-wash in it. So I put all the stuff in the pre-wash compartment because I thought it only took it from the pre-wash compartment for some reason. I don't know. But luckily I did, because it actually did do a pre-wash. So all I did is, in between filming this portion and the next portion, I just added a tiny bit more soap. But because this machine seems to kick up a lot of foam, I didn't want to add too much more. But it still got quite sudsy with just the residual suds that were in the clothes from the pre-wash. So all was well. Just to clarify, so the buttons are that you select if you want to go for an automatic dry. So just set the drying timer, press that, and it will automatically go across to drying. That's a cold wash button, so if you don't want to use any heat in the water in the wash, just press that and it'll run a purely cold water wash. That is no spin. You can just make that out almost. But yeah, that cancels the spin cycle, and that's on and off. So yeah, quite a good range of cycles, lots of good temperatures. It's a good machine. So here we are just carrying on with the wash. We were pretty much at 95 at this point. It's got a very powerful heater on it and it heats up very quickly. With the hot water inlet as well, it's quite good really. So it only took hot water for that fill and it's heated up to 95 fairly quickly. So yeah, quite sudsy as you can see. I'm using Ariel mountain spring in a bag, which is from, I believe, Serbia or Europe, somewhere in Europe. I buy it from a local Euro shop. I do add a little bit of washing soda to this, just to, because that's my new thing, is adding washing soda apparently. So yeah, so just churning away on the wash, and yeah. So here we are reading towards the end of the wash, and eventually it will click across into a cool down. Does a cool down on all, in the same place in the timer on all of the cycles, so whatever you've done, even if you've selected a cold wash, it still does a cool down. It's just part of the timer. Yeah, and then it heads into the first drain. The first two rinses are without interim spins, and then it goes into an interim spin after the second rinse. So yeah. So here we go with the first drain. It's a very powerful pump. It was amazing when we pulled open the filter cover when we got it home after we bought it, and the amount of fluff that spewed out was just sensational. Like, so no wonder the guy thought it didn't wash, because obviously it didn't drain. Yeah, really, really surprising. But after that, it ran absolutely sweet as a nut. Not a worry. The bearings are a little grumbly, but that's about it. Nothing too drastic. Now this is the first drain with an interim spin, so it's going to click over and into an interim spin. Sorry, can't speak. It does take quite a while for it to do that. It does a lot of distribution tumbles before that, and then eventually it clicks in. Now, due to the amount of suds and water, this spin doesn't quite make it to 800. So it kind of chugs away at the lower speed, just getting rid of all that suds and water, and then by the time it's done that, it's ready to click over to rinse. But normally what it would do is when it's cleared those suds, it would then gently increase the speed to 800 RPMs. But in this interim spin it doesn't quite get there, but in the final spin it definitely does, so hold out for that. here we are filling up the final rinse. It is nice and clear. I did add a little bit of a scent oil, which I use. It's called Kifra. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but it just adds, you only use 2 mils of it, so a very tiny amount, and you put it in the fabric softener dispenser, and it just puts a little bit of scent through your laundry without using softener, because I don't like to use softener on towels, but I still like them to have a bit of scent. So yeah, but nice and clear final rinse. And here we are heading into the final spin. So, like I said, it takes a while for it to get there, but it eventually clicks into spin. It's known as extra spin on the program guide. So it does take a little bit of time just to chuck away all that excess water and pump it all the way, and then eventually it slowly speeds up to 800 RPM. So, yeah, and then it keeps that speed for about 5 minutes, and then clicks down. It actually takes a break in the spin, so it stops for a bit, it spins for about 2 minutes, then stops for about a minute, and then clicks back into spin. And I think that is to stop the clothes from sticking to the side of the drum too much, just so that when it starts the tumble dry, it doesn't have everything wedged around the drum, so it can tumble freely. Quite nifty, quite ingenious really, because a lot of washer dryers just spin and then stop, and everything's kind of stuck to the side, and you end up with a big sort of dried ring of towels, for want of a better term. But yeah, any minute now it'll kick into spin. That's about it from me. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.